What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I absolutely love when you guys send me questions. I actually had a lot of fun sifting through these questions. Um, and I love knowing what you guys want to know about me and just kind of like it gives me a vibe for how you guys see me, which is very funny to me. So here you go. I'm going to answer your questions that you've asked me. It's just sort of a Ask Riley. So here we go. All right, first up, first question is, what is your unhealthiest habit? This is very easy. Anybody who knows me very well will tell you the answer to this. I have an addiction to candy. It is not an addiction to sugar. So when people say, well, why don't you just eat this and why don't you eat that? And I'm like, absolutely not. It is an addiction to candy. Doesn't even have to be sugary candy. It doesn't have to be the most sugary candy. Probably if it was sugar free, I'd probably still want to eat it. It is something about like the tangible act of like shoveling candy in my mouth. And so much so that sometimes I don't even realize that I'm unwrapping a piece of candy while I'm still chewing on the other piece of candy and just binging it. I try not to keep it in my house. If it's in my house, for sure, I will eat it, and I will eat it all in one sitting. A few of you may have known a few years ago, I did a photo shoot where I was laying in candy because I had a candy themed birthday. It was a birthday photo shoot. It is bad. And I have had moments where I completely shook it for a long time. And then it came back, or it comes back in spurts in like a binge. I've had a whole year where I didn't eat candy. I've had whole months where I didn't eat candy. I've had days where I ate nothing but candy, like woke up that morning and wanted candy. And when I say candy, I don't mean like, oh, like chocolate or like I have a sweet treat. No, I mean like all the bad stuff, the Sour Patch Kids, the Skittles, the Laffy Taffy, the Airheads, any kind of fruity, chewy candy, even the hard candies. I'm more so into chewy candies, but I have my share of like Jolly Ranchers and Blow Pops and all that stuff. I've learned that if I don't keep it in my house, I won't eat it. But what stopped me from eating it so much is like learning, and this was before any of the new laws or anything came out in this administration, or the ban on food dyes. I started learning so much about food dyes, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is not something that I want to do to my body. So then I started eating candy from other countries because they were banned, the dye was banned in other countries. And anytime a friend would go on a trip, I'd be like, bring me back some candy. Which reminds me, I have a friend in Japan right now that I need to say, bring me back some candy. But it's been terrible over the past few years. It's just, I've tried and I've tried and I've just learned to lean into it. And I have my moments when I eat it and moments when I don't. My favorite candies right now are Mamba and Haichu because they don't have the dye in it. But I discovered Trader Joe's and they don't have any dye in their candy. So now I've been eating these like, they're like, what are they, like under the sea swimmers or something like that. I think they have the sour ones and the not sour and then the sour belt. I don't know. I go on and on for this and now I'm craving candy. But yes, that's my unhealthiest habit, eating candy. I think the other unhealthy habit, I don't know if this is unhealthy or not, but I make up really nasty songs that will never see the light of day. I've gotten into the habit of recording them. I think they're hilarious. They're things that would put Sexy Red to shame. They're disgusting, usually of a sexual nature, but I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. I probably talked about this before. And that has gotten worse as I've gotten older because then I just learned about the nastiest stuff. As a kid, I'm like, I didn't really even know what any of this meant. And now I know what it means. And now it's gotten so bad. I could have a whole career based on just being a rapper with nasty songs or singer with nasty songs. You guys will never hear them. Never going to share. Those are my bad habits. All right, coming in hot. Next question is, this is funny. Do you still stand by the triangle dress? Yeah, I do. I stand by the triangle dress, and I did a whole video, not defending it, but just, because I don't feel like I need to defend it. It's art, it's subjective. I was happy with it. My client was happy with it. A lot of you didn't like it. Some of you did. I still stand by the triangle dress. You want to know something really funny? I don't think I shared this in the video that I did about the triangle dress. Monique didn't even know that there was this much discourse because she doesn't really read the comments or anything like that. she was very happy. She loved it. She loved it even more than the yellow dress. She was like, we did, it was the most true to her, and it represented, it had so much meaning behind it, and it was a dress she envisioned, and then I brought it to life with my vision mixed with hers. She didn't even know that you guys hated the dress, nor does she care. And it's funny because I've recently, some people have tagged me. They're like, oh, look, some people have kind of done something similar to this. And I'm like, yeah, I figured that was going to happen too. But yes, I absolutely stand by the red triangle dress. And if I had to do it all over again, I would not change it. It's my art. If you didn't like it, what did I say in that video? They love me today, hate me tomorrow. Both days I got paid. So yes, I stand by the dress. All right, your next question is, tell us how you feel now that you've straightened your teeth. I mean, well, first of all, it's been 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 years. This year will be 3 years since I straightened them. If you are new here and you didn't know, I used to have extreme crowding of my teeth, and I used to get bullied for it. Especially once I got into the public eye and became known, like people bullied me for that, especially being a Beyonce impersonator. I don't think there were people that were like, Riley, I never really focused on it. Or there were people that were like, Riley, it wasn't a defining characteristic, or it didn't take away from your beauty. People have said that. I think I cringe now, but this is how I feel about it. Okay, so I think I cringe now when I watch old videos or old interviews, or even here on YouTube, old videos, and I see the way that I move my mouth, and I see the teeth, and it does distract me because I don't see myself like that anymore. I will say it completely changed the way that I talk. It changed the way that I enunciate and stumble over words, because it changed the shape of my tongue. My tongue used to be shaped like the teeth, and so my teeth hit my tongue different. My tongue hit my teeth different now. And then the other thing is it changed the shape of my face. If you look back at older photos or older videos of me, it changed the shape of my face because of my jawline. And it's really funny because I used to move my mouth in different ways. And I think I also was very aware sometimes of trying to hide it by the way that I talk. So you would see me try to cover it up, and I don't do that anymore. And so it does feel very different. It feels like a long time ago. I don't forget it because I lived with it for so many years, since I was a very small child. And now when I think about it every day because I brush my teeth, or I put in my retainers, or, I think about it. But it's one less thing that I have to worry about, as far as confidence. And I'm much more confident when I'm talking to someone, especially on camera, since my job happens to be on camera or on a stage. So yeah, I am, best thing I've done for myself, looks wise, and also confidence wise. So yeah, I'm happy with that decision, and I feel great. All right, your next question is, are you still friends with Taylor Swift, and are you going to her wedding? I am still friends with Taylor. I text her from time to time. We were never best friends, but we've talked. Whatever. I congratulate her when she has huge milestones in her life. I'll send her a quick text or something like that. The other part of the question is, are you going to her wedding? I have not received an invitation just yet. I don't think I'm going to, because again, we are not like super close friends. But I think there are different eras in your life, especially with friends, but like where you're hanging out with people and closer to people. I think this is no different. I think she just happens to be a megastar. But I think even if I was attending her wedding, I don't think I'd be able to tell you. I don't know. I will tell you, I have friends that I have met through Taylor that I have spoken to. And speaking of weddings, I talked to Esty Haim because she recently got married from Haim. The band, and I sent her a quick text just saying congratulations and all the stuff, and she sent a message back, and she and I connected because she is friends with Taylor, and I met her through Taylor, and we connected over being like plant-based and all that stuff. So and she and I just connected within that moment and time, and then just kind of I kept in touch with her, and she gave me her number and all that stuff. So yeah, I have talked to her. But speaking of weddings, but yeah, that's the answer on that. All right, your next question is, do you believe in aliens? Yes. That's the short and quick answer. Yes, I believe in aliens. I do not believe in aliens the way that I think we did when we were kids. And I think a lot of people are this way. I don't believe that aliens are, I think they don't look the way that we thought they did. I think some of them may be shapeshifters. I think they're aliens that walk amongst us. I think that they've been here for a while. I also believe that some of those aliens are in the sea. Have you seen the sea? It's crazy. There are things down there that we have that are undiscovered. I think they say 80% is undiscovered. We don't even know how deep that thing is. It is crazy. It's creepy. It is scary. So I think that there are aliens there. I also believe in aliens because our forever president told us that aliens do exist. And I believe Barack Obama when he says that aliens exist. So yes, I believe in aliens. I don't think that they look like Roger from what's the American Dad. I think they look a little bit different than what we thought. And I also think that they are hiding things in plain sight on TV shows like, American Dad. So yes, aliens exist. Your next question is, will you ever make clothes we can buy in a store? You know what? I'm not against it. Right now, you know that my design company, my fashion line is called Riley Knox Couture. So it is for sure one of a kind pieces. And I think that's something I always set out is to make couture accessible. So yeah, I do. I mean, I think the ultimate would be selling a brand and having things mass produced. But it is not my dream right now. I don't have a dream of, making t-shirts or things that already exist, or making sweaters, that already exist, and dresses that are so mass produced and that are like fast fashion. I'm not interested in that. If I did make some pieces, it would be like a limited quantity, because I think that makes the quality of it better, where like if I did something and it was only like 10 of them. But and I have recreated dresses that I've made before. When someone, like I did a dress for Ashley Darby that was in the promo for Real Housewives of Potomac, and I got her permission though. I said, I know this dress was made for you, but there's someone who loved it and wants me to make it for them, and I asked her permission. And the same thing happened with the dress that I did for Coco Jones. That was also Ashley Darby's dress. I always think that Ashley is kind of like my she's kind of my good luck charm. Every time I make a dress for her, someone wants the dress. But I don't think that I ever, like as of right now, I don't want to do just clothes. Obviously, I would love for you guys to, be able to access it easier, I guess. And it would be less work for me. But right now, I'm a small team of me. So yeah, maybe eventually, years from now. But that is not the goal right now. The goal is just to make one-of-a-kind pieces accessible for you guys. Yeah. All right. This is an interesting question. And I was going to do these rapid fire, and as you can see, I'm long-winded. That's not going to happen. This question is, do you ever wish you were born cisgender? You know what? Younger me, yes. I used to wish that I was born cisgender. I just thought my life would be easier. It would be easier for me to have found someone to spend my life with. I think it would be easier to have kids and all this stuff. I do not feel that way anymore. I feel like the thing that I thought held me back is now the thing that sets me apart. And I would not change anything about my experience being a trans woman. I've had so many experiences and things and milestones in my life that would have not happened. And I don't think that your life is easier just because someone asked me this before. I used to have friends that would ask me, do you think that your life would be easier if you were not trans? And I say to them, do you think your life is easy? Because these are cisgender people that ask me this, cis women that ask me this. And they were like, touche. So yeah, I don't wish now. I think now that I've grown into myself and, been through some things and realized what the world is actually like, and, found a love for myself that is undeniable to me, that I love myself in totality with all the imperfections. and with all the nuances and all the things that come with that. And yeah, I definitely don't wish. No, I'm thinking about it and I'm just like, there are some things that probably would have been easier, had I been born cisgender. But I don't. Absolutely not. I love being trans. I love, who I am in totality. Yeah. All right. Where are we? Let's see. Do you believe in soulmates? Yes, I believe in soulmates. I believe in having more than one soulmate in a lifetime. I don't think there's just one. I think sometimes your soulmates are your friends. And sometimes that is a romantic partner. Sometimes it shows up in different ways, I think everybody that you're supposed to find in this lifetime, you find. And I definitely believe that you can have more than one soulmate. I think that your soulmate can also be not a forever type of situation. You could have had a soulmate in different eras in your life. But yes, I do believe that there are such things as soulmates. This is a cute question. Someone says, I recently saw a picture of you curling your hair and there were tons of shoes in the background. How many pairs of shoes do you have? I don't know. I think I used to know because I used to have a lot more, and I've gotten rid of them as styles have changed and things that are just not me anymore. And I feel like I wear the same shoes all the time, just because you get into the shoe that goes with everything, or the ones that are comfortable. But I actually have not counted. Maybe I should go through and count after I make this video. Maybe I'll put it here. Here's the other thing. I have my shoes, but then I also remember I'm an entertainer, so I have a closet of shoes that are also in the archive or that are in with all the performance stuff. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to count that, so I don't know. In everyday life, I don't know. I'll have a lot, but I know people that have way more than I do, and I used to have a lot more, so can't answer that question. Sorry. This question is, do you have any plans for plastic surgery? Okay, so I don't know if a lot of you know, but I've never had plastic surgery of any kind. I think a lot of you know that I had like filler in my lips. I chronicled it on the show, and then 2 weeks later I had it removed. I hated it. I will never do it again. I've also learned that I'm never going to add anything to my face. I'll take things away, like I would in a nose job. I wouldn't like add in filler in my cheeks. I'd have a facelift. So do I have any plans for plastic surgery? Yes. When my motto is, when nature fails, technology prevails. So I'm not against plastic surgery. I'm all for it. I think you should do your research. And I think you should do what makes you happy. Do I have any plans? I think in the future I'll probably have like a deep plane facelift or a brow lift or something like that. We all have our tricks with makeup and things like that. And I'm all about beauty devices and things like that. Yeah. And I still am not against getting a nose job. I feel sometimes I love my nose and sometimes I don't. As my face changes, as I lose weight, gain weight, hormonally, whatever. So yes, I do have plans of plastic surgery. I won't tell you exactly what it is, but I would share it with you if I had it done. I would probably, have do chronicles of it on my channel here. Maybe. I wouldn't deny it. Also, I feel like I wouldn't owe you that either. So stop thinking that people owe you that. Just, I know that's not the question, but yes, I do have plans of it in the future, for sure. Yeah. Right now, if I could do anything right now, I would be probably a deep plane facelift, just to have not the jowling and the something, because that looks so much tighter and smoother. But you guys might not think that any difference. I do. I see it and do what makes you happy. This question is, are you excited for Beyonce's rock era? All right, here's my answer to that question. I'm excited for any Beyonce era as a Beyonce impersonator. But I have a theory. Beyonce has never said that it's going to be a rock era. I think there's been clues. I think it's very well guessed. But I think it's going to be different than what you guys think. I don't think it's going to be right on the nose. The same way that the country era was not, like she said, this is a Beyonce album, not a country album. I don't know that it's going to, I might be wrong. And I also think that Beyonce is probably the most unpredictable artist out there. We never know what exactly she's going to do. We never see it coming. We don't know. And I think that's the mark of a true artist, and she moves in silence. So I'm excited for whatever comes in whatever iteration. I do not think that it's going to be what people think exactly. So if it's going to be called a rock era, but also I think if it is a rock era, and it's well speculated that it's going to be some version of that, I think it might be one of my favorites because if you know me well, I'm more of an edgier type of girl. I'm not the pink kind of girl. I'm more of like, I'm all about skulls and, rocker stuff and leather and all that. I live for that kind of era. So I think it will be fun visually, especially for what I get to do on stage, and with costuming and all of that. I'm excited to see that. So yes, I'm excited for any era of Beyonce. I just don't know that it's going to be exactly a rock era. So we'll see. Okay, this question's funny, or a fun question. It says, would you ever have any other hair color besides blonde? Um, this kind of goes back to the question previous, because I think a lot of people were speculating like, oh, we want Beyonce to have dark hair for this. Well, Beyonce's blonde. I don't know that she's going to honor that. We've seen her with darker hair before, rarely. It's like a signature. And I honestly think that even if I wasn't a Beyonce impersonator, I would have blonde hair. And I mean, even before I impersonated her, I had lighter hair. I'm a natural blonde. I'm kidding. I've had darker hair before. It is not my favorite. And I always say this, I'm blonde to the day that I die. I will, as long as they make hair color, I will be blonde. So I think, I have tried in like photo shoots for like playing dress up, but just on a regular basis, would I just go and make my hair darker? No. Like dark brown hair? No. All my fake hair is blonde. Not all of, I mean, most of it's blonde. The wigs and are blonde. My real hair is blonde. I just don't see myself ever straying from that aesthetic. It's kind of my signature. Even if I wasn't an entertainer. Yeah, it's what I like the most. It's just, and I don't think I look great with dark hair. I've had dark hair and I don't think, here's a fun fact. I used to date a guy who used to make me dye my hair black. He wanted a difference between the stage me and regular me. And I know that sounds crazy, he made you, but I was younger and low self-esteem, I guess, and I kind of was controlled. But yeah, I'm never having dark hair. And I think it's a harsher look on me. And this is a funny thing. I see girls all the time and I'm like, oh, that red hair is so beautiful. Or I love the, super like white out platinum hair. Or I've seen like really dark, shiny hair, especially when girls have those really thick, shiny black bundles. I'm like, oh, it looks so good. And black hair, dark hair always shines more than blonde hair. It's hard to get blonde hair to shine. It's a lot of moisturization. Like it just doesn't, doesn't absorb the light the same way. Beyond blonde to the day I die. That's a short answer to that. Always gonna be blonde. That's just me. All right, next question. What is your favorite thing about being an entertainer? Do you think you will ever retire? My favorite thing about being an entertainer is it's just a creative outlet. I think there is nothing that compares to being on stage. There's nothing I could even tell you to describe it. I can't describe that feeling to you unless you performed in any way that high. Even like athletes have been able to understand it when I've explained it to them, whether you've played in a huge arena or even a smaller. There's nothing that feels like that. And in moments when I've taken a break from performing forcibly, like when I broke my back in 2018, or during COVID when I couldn't perform for 22 months. I was almost 2 years. Good Lord. I never think about it that way. It was almost 2 years. When I almost didn't perform 2 years, I craved it more than anything in the world. It was like a part of me was missing. So I think that I will ever retire. I will retire from performing when I know in my soul, when I know in my bones or in my muscles that it is time to retire. For sure. I will. I won't be able to do it for forever. Nobody really will. Not even the woman that I impersonate. So, but right now I still get a high from it. I still love it just as much as I did when I first started. It does not feel like a burden, doesn't feel like something I have to do. And I think that's also why I have other creative outlets, but none of those creative outlets and none of the artistry and anything else that I do feels like performing. There's nothing else that feels like performing. And I love that I get to connect with you guys, which is why, so I guess the answer to that question, what is my favorite thing about performing, is connecting with the audience, which is why I couldn't do virtual shows during the pandemic. I just was not into it. I was like, it won't feel the same. It won't be the same. Yeah. All right. What's the next question here? Oh, okay. What do you think is the hardest thing about being trans? There's a lot that's hard about it. I think one of the hardest things is being misunderstood, and that's actually one of my pet peeves, or one of the things that I hate the most. I don't ever want to be misunderstood, which is why I talk so much and over-explain myself a lot of times, just in everyday life, and sometimes even here on this channel with you guys. The hardest thing about being trans for me is people not understanding, being misunderstood for whatever reason. And I could elaborate in ways. I'll give you a couple examples. Being misunderstood as to what our plight in life is and what our struggles are. People misunderstand that. Thinking that we're cosplaying as women or cosplaying as men if you're a trans man. And I can only speak from a trans woman's perspective. So people think that you're cosplaying women, thinking that we hate you and are trying to take over, or we're cosplaying as you. What else? I could go on. There's a lot of things. Being over-sexualized, people only focusing on the sexual aspect of it, people thinking that we only date gay men, or if someone dates us that they're gay. So many things. Being misunderstood in that way. The other thing is that people just won't leave us the fuck alone. That's really just like, we just want to be left alone. Whether it's the government, whether it's men who fetishize us, whether it's people that we just want to live our lives and be left alone. We are not some terrorist group. We are not radicals. We are not in any way, trying to do anything other than live our lives and want the rights that everybody else has. That's probably the hardest thing, is that people won't leave us alone, and we're prejudged, and people don't take the time to know. And people are always trying to write our story for us. I should probably do a video about that alone. I could do a whole video on that alone. That's probably the hardest part. Yeah. I feel another video coming in the works. If you want me to expound on that, write it down in the comments what whether you'd like for me to elaborate on that even more. Would you like to see a whole video about it? Because I could do a whole panel, a think piece. I could do a whole thing, and people do it all the time. But I don't know if you guys want to hear that from me, because I go in for real. All right, the last question. I think this is actually a great question to end on. What's the best advice or saying best advice you've ever been given, or saying that you live by? There's so many. There's so many little antidotes and sayings and quotes and things that I live by. One is that everything happens in order. Everything in your life is happening in order. There's nothing that's happening out of order. Even if it feels like it is bad, or you don't like it, or it's taking you off a path of where you're supposed to be, if you feel like it's not the right thing at the time, everything in your life is happening in order. If we're going to celebrate the celebrate the good things, we have to honor that the bad things are necessary also. So that is one thing that I live by. Another thing that I live by, it's a quote that I actually have on my refrigerator. It's the only thing on my refrigerator in my handwriting. Which is, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one that you have with yourself. The most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. I live by that. I was so relationship focused in my, previous eras of my life. I was so male centered. I'm definitely woman enough to admit that. I was male centered. I was relationship centered. Marriage centered. I still have things that I want, but the most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. The other thing that I live by is if it doesn't make sense, it's a lie. I think that came from Judge Judy. She said it in a different way. I think she says if it doesn't make sense, it's not true, or something to that effect. Or to me, when someone's telling me something, and I don't care who you are, I don't care if it's the government. Definitely if it's the government, especially. If it's the government, if it's something on TV, if it's something that just a situation, if it does not make sense, it's a lie. I stand by that. If you just like, well, that doesn't really make any sense at all, because why would it do? Well, this doesn't make sense. And I search for clarity all the time. If it doesn't make sense, it's a lie. I promise you. And it's like a 99% like proof, like 99% fail proof. Absolutely. I live by that. I question everything. I'm a Taurus. I'm like, why? But why? Why? And it's hard to lie to a Taurus. And a lot of Tauruses are not known for being avid liars because we are so much in search of the truth and just kind of don't really care enough anymore to lie about things. Like, if it doesn't make sense, it's a lie. In your relationships, and think about that. Think about things that you were told as a child. None of it made sense, but you were told not to question it. And this is why God, this is going to be a tough one when it comes to like biblical and religious things that just don't make sense. And then that have been like, people are, yeah. And then we find out that they were put in there by somebody who just wanted to control some things and things were redacted. It's usually a lie. Anyway, I love you guys' questions. I love when you guys ask me questions. Like I said before, it really helps me to see how you guys think about me or like the kind of things you want to know about me. Keep the questions coming. I mean, we can do a part 2 of this. I've done this before. I really do appreciate your questions, and thanks for sending them with a bit of wanting to understand and with love and all of that. I love you guys for watching, and if you have not already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.